As a child, I had a fairly ordinary upbringing. But there was always something inside of me that set me apart from the other kids. I felt an inexplicable urge to hurt others, to see the fear and pain in their eyes. I started small, with animals, torturing and killing them for the pleasure that it brought me. But as I got older, my sadistic tendencies only grew stronger. I had several run-ins with the law in the 1960s, including charges for sexual assault and battery. In 1968, I was convicted of sexually assaulting a teenage boy and sentenced to 10 years in the Iowa State Men's Reformatory. While I was behind bars, I underwent a psychological evaluation that diagnosed me as a sexual psychopath. Despite this diagnosis, however, I was released in 1970 after serving just 18 months. I was put on parole and sent back to Chicago, where I continued to live my life as if nothing had ever even happened. But I couldn't stay out of trouble for long. In 1972, I was arrested again, this time for sexually assaulting another young man. The charges were eventually dropped, but it was clear that I had not changed my ways. Throughout the 1970s, I became a successful independent contractor, and I even bought a house in a suburban Chicago neighbourhood. I was well liked by my neighbours and often volunteered my time as a clown for charitable events and children's parties. But my secret life as a killer was always lurking beneath the surface. I began luring young boys and men to my home, promising them jobs or drugs or even money. Once they were there, I would then force them into sexual acts, often while wearing the clown suit that had become my trademark. But the sex was never enough for me. I wanted more. I wanted to feel the rush of power that came with taking someone's life. And so, I began killing my victims one by one. I would lure them into my basement, where I'd set up a torture chamber complete with handcuffs, whips, and other implements of pain. I would force them to perform sexual acts on me, and then I would strangle them or stab them, or even drown them. The sound of their last gasps of air was music to my ears. I buried the bodies under the floorboards of my house, or even stored them in the crawl space. But the smell was overpowering. I told my wife and house guests that it was just a moisture problem, and they believed me. For years I got away with these crimes, but eventually my luck ran out. In 1978, one of my victims, Robert Peist, was reported missing, and the police began to investigate. They searched my house and found the bodies of 29 boys and other young men. 4 more were then found in the nearby river. At my trial, I tried to plead insanity, but the jury saw right through my lies. They knew I was not crazy, just a sadistic killer who enjoyed playing with his victims before taking their lives. And so, I was found guilty of all 33 murders and sentenced to death. I remember as I laid on that gurney, waiting for the lethal injection to take effect, I thought about all the young lives I had snuffed out, all the families I had destroyed. And you know what? I laughed, knowing that even in death, I had won the game.